Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbena heblena min ezvacina ve zürriyatina kurrete ayun ve cealna lil muttaqine imama. Rabbi cealni mukimes salati ve min zürriyeti. Rabbena ve tekabbel dua. Rabbi ceal hâzel belede amine ve cunubni ve beniyye en na'budel asnam. Allahümme allimna ma yenfa'una ve enfa'na bima allamtena ve zidna ilma ve erinel hakka hakkan ve erzukna ittiba'ah ve erinel batıla batılan ve erzukna ictinabah ve sallallahümme ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellem velhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. Amin. We have been studying the introductory subject to our Quran studies, and the introduction started with how we can make sure really that God speaks, and we discussed about it, and then we are going to study the definition of the Quran according to what the Quran itself claims or says. So before doing this, why are we following this way of studying the Quran? And this class, of course, this halaqah is a kind of instructive halaqah. It means it is like an university class. Goes step by step, and you have to, the audience and the people follow the recordings later on, be patient how the result will come out at the end. So whether really it was useful or not, so needs patience. But we have to establish the foundations first. Why do we follow in this halaqah as we do? This verse is very interesting and very practical as well. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ve ma erselna min rasulin illa bilisani kavmi liyubeyyinne lahum. We have not sent a messenger except in the language of his people, to clarify the message for them. So we say, here we are the people. Quran says, I am the universal message. Okay, let me see. And universal message says, I am going to speak to you with the language that the people speak. But we speak English, not Arabic, but the Quran is in Arabic. Or what does it mean? But why does not God speak to me in Arabic? So it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to learn Arabic, but it is much better, very much encouraged to learn the language of the Quran, Arabic. But we know that the reality out there, most of the majority member of the students of the Quran are not Arabic speakers. Arabic speaking people, 14% of the Muslim population. And although some maybe nowadays, especially nowadays, a native Arabic speaker, still it is not enough to understand the Quranic language. It is very classical. Do you see the screen comfortably? Yes, okay. Thank you. I mean, just if you don't know that. So how are we going to reconcile what this Quran says, this verse says, ayah says, and what my reality is? So since God speaks to his people, says, I'm going to speak to you with the language you are familiar with. So there are many details of it, because in order to understand the Quran, you have to understand its concepts. So although Quranic language is in Arabic and the grammar of it is really the basis of the Arabic grammar, not that Quran is really adopting the Arabic grammar of the time it was revealed to the Prophet, but it established the principles of the grammar or Arabic grammar and really finalized it. That is important to understand. One aspect of it. Another aspect, Quran uses human language, but the words, especially fundamental words, main terminologies that the Quran introduced, has to be understood within the concept of the purpose of the Quran. So it is not really, you can take a dictionary, see that this verse means this, so Quran also means that. It is not that easy. It needs expertise, specialized. It is not our duty. It is, I know it is beyond our capacity. Even somebody really studies the Quran for a long time. Still it is beyond the capacity of ordinary people like me. So, what is good learning or knowing the Arabic language? What is good in it? So we have to understand that learning the Arabic is just an introduction to get closer to have a general understanding of the Quranic message. But general, no one can claim that I have really got into the deep meaning of the Quran because I learned Arabic language. But we have to learn Quranic concepts. Quran changed many, the meaning of many words used in Arabic, but gave another perspective. Even the very fundamental word, Quran, is very essential, Allah, it is to be understood within the context of the Quran. Now, but context of the Quran is to be understood for within the purposes of the Quran. We have to ask the question, why God speaks to human beings and what I am going to learn from it. This is important. That is why we are going to, inshallah, this one. Oh, all right. Well, we are going to study this. What is the Quran? Definition of the Quran. No, these are the foundations of the preparation of our mind, how I should read the Quran, and which kind of understanding I should try to get from the Quran, so that it will be a guide for me. Because Quran says human beings are created for a purpose, and I am your creator as the speaker in the Quran. I am your creator, and I am going to teach you why I created you. That is what while we are reading the Quran, we have to bear in mind that it is going to tell me why God, my creator, speaks to me. Of course, we will say, if the Quran is God's speech, not because we have doubt. The Bible, the people also say, the Christian people, Bible is God's speech. And Jewish people say, Torah is God's speech. So how can I make specifically that Qur'an is God's speech. I mean, it doesn't mean that the others are not God's speech, but originally they were. The Qur'an also confirms that they were, but they are somehow messed up. The people messed up with it. Somehow. Not totally, partially. This is not our, again, subject. But we have to make sure that Qur'an is God's word. Why I preferred and prepared myself for years. Present the Qur'an to the people who can understand the Qur'an, want to learn the Qur'an in their language. Because the Qur'an, this verse says, God speaks to the messengers, reveals the message to the messenger, and in their language. It means I understand, yeah, I'm not an Arabic language speaker. So you said you are speaking to me in your language, but I'm sorry, I don't know Arabic. I know English. That is inevitable that we have to read the translation. So when we read the translation of the Qur'an, of course we have to understand that as an English speaker, reading the translation which never ever can represent the real concepts of the Qur'an, but gives a general understanding. Now we have to understand now this framework, why we are going to do what we are doing. Of course, Qur'an says, I am clear and clear in my speech. You can understand. And clarifying, it means making the things that you don't know, I'm going to make you understand that what I mean. So explain to you. So that when we read the Qur'an, we will, in English, we will have inevitably a general message of the Qur'an. So if we are going to have the general message of the Qur'an, I have to say, okay, I'm not an expert, but how can I benefit from this general understanding of the Qur'an? Generally. So that it will make sense to me, my heart will be satisfied with it, and I will confirm that, yeah, although I am not reading the original language of the Qur'an, but still I understand that my Creator is speaking to me. This is the real aim of this class as an English speaker. Even you, excuse me. Even a person living in this age, coming from a native Arabic speaker, he has to train himself to understand the Quranic concepts. It needs speciality as well. Not the language that the people are using now, maybe in their academic studies, that they are learning Arabic, somehow grammar, but that is not still enough. That is not still enough. Why? They have to learn Quranic concepts. It means this concept says another dimension according to the purpose of the Quran. I don't know whether I am making it easy for you or more difficult. Excuse me. My old age, you have to suffer from many things.
But these concepts can vary by interpretation, right?
Yeah.
Concepts can vary by the interpretation.
Vary by interpretation?
Yeah.
Depends.
How
Now, because Quran is such a book. If you really study it, in order to understand the Quran in its original language, it takes some time. We have to understand that we have different professions. We are not really, we cannot really spare some time to study and become a professional Quran teacher or student, but really professional. I mean, I'm not expecting it from myself, so that from you either, but don't worry about it. The grammatic structure is designed in such an incredible manner. Grammatic structure. You can read it this way, meaning slightly changes. You can read it in another way, meaning slightly changes. But target, the ultimate message of the Quran never changes. But you can have from this aspect, you can have from another aspect. For example, today in the educational institutions, you go, this is a university, okay, NYU, for example, New York University, all right. How many departments are there? How many? Maybe 20. How many subdivisions of each department? 100? Yeah, you have been here. Yeah. Hundreds?
Quite a few, yes.
Yeah, quite. So, but they are getting this education. They are really learning from one aspect of the universe. So, somebody studies chemistry, somebody studies physics, somebody studies biology, astronomy, you name it, geology, you name it. The botany, I mean, almost many disciplines we see them. What are they studying? All of them studying the same universe. All right? Studying the same universe. But this aspect, this aspect, this aspect. This is the work of the Creator. That is why I prefer the word absolute. The Creator must be absolute. Otherwise, it cannot be the Creator. If Creator means absolute, means you know that, but infinite. So infinite. So not to confuse infinite with absolute. So infinite, a kind of mathematical terminology, but absolute is really in the Quran mutlaq. Yeah, it means there is no limit. So for his qualities, there must be they must be absolute qualities. If the absolute qualities does a job, can you put a limit to it? Now, since the universe doesn't have limit in going in depth, you know, some people are studying particles, and some people study in the specific substance or matter in the particle, which is, some people call it leptons or something. I don't know, the names are many. A professor says, I'm studying physics. Which one? They call it particle physics. All right. Which subject? This one. And another thing is, thank you very much. Thank you. So, another thing is, not only I am specialized in particles, you have to make another speciality. What does it mean? The Creator's power in there, while it is creating, manifests in what way? Infinite ways. So, Quran says, I am the speech of you, the creator of this universe. You are a part of it, therefore I am the speech of your creator. I know you, I'm creating you now. Yeah? You were a baby, I grew you up to this age. And I know what you need. So, but he is speaking to all of us at the same time, universal message. So you are interested in chemistry, you are interested in physics and biology, this is what I mean? So you have to get the guidance from your perspective, from your need. How are we going to interpret the data that we are learning from chemistry? How am I going to interpret the data I'm learning from physics? You name it now. Many other subjects. They are all possible. Now, we cannot go into this detail, but we are going to use the Quran English translation. Very simple, not complicated. How am I benefit from this English translation of the Quran as much as I need to understand my purpose of my life and meaning of my life. Why am I here? Why do I exist? And why am I created as a baby and growing and then die? What is going on? That is why I introduced this verse, so that we will understand it is not really harmful to read English translation of the Quran, but we have to try to get our best to benefit from it in order to apply it to my practical life, in order to really see how it makes sense to me in my practical life. That is why we are having, this is the third halaqah. I am used to saying class. So usually I always organize classes, with structural, step by step. Don't expect anything emotional. Great scholars are doing this. I mean, in NYU, you see they are doing instructional halaqas as well, but mostly, not like a class session. So going, for example, if you enroll with biology class, the first day you cannot understand the book which is prepared for the final year education. You have to go step by step. Inshallah, we will follow this and do the practice as much as possible. Now, this is the purpose of studying this verse. Okay. Now, no. What's that? All right. What is the Quran? Definition of the Quran. Of course, we hear in Islamic culture, in the Ummah, people are used. Allah spoke to the angel Gabriel, Jibreel, and Jibreel came and inspired what Allah exactly said to the Prophet, and the Prophet conveyed to people around him, whoever is ready to receive. And also we have to bear in mind the prophets are not postmen. Why? Bring us the message, here it is, whatever you want to do, do it. That is your job now. I am going, bye-bye. They don't do that. What do? They really practice. They really practice in their own life, and show it how we can transfer the language of the Quran, the message of the Quran, into practical terms. That is another important aspect of the prophetic message. I mean, delivering the message is just, it is not mine. It is not a great deal. Allah taught me, and here it is. I'm conveying to you. But, you know that you are taking, let's say, biology class. In the class, professor tells you something, how something works, and then puts the formulas, whatever the formula is there, and if you do this, plant grows better in this way. Is it enough? No, you have to do practice. That is why internship or usually is required. You have to do practice. In some classes, you have to have laboratory work. So you have to go to the laboratory and put it into practice and see, what professor said is right. That is how we confirm what the professor taught us, that it is really right. It is exactly the same thing in the case of the Qur'an. Qur'an teaches us the principles, and it is a very serious matter, by the way. Qur'an teaches us the principles and expects us first to confirm it. How? Doesn't explain. That's what I am saying. And you have to believe in it. For example, Qur'an says, I am the word of God, the creator, your creator, and you have to believe in the fact that I send you messages. You know, believe in the books that the God speaks and the prophets present to them is one of the inevitable article of faith in Quranic teaching or prophetic teaching, both. So I say, okay. For example, let me give you an example. Quran says, this world is going to be destroyed by me. I am going to destroy it completely. And afterwards, you will be resurrected. I will recreate you, and I will gather you and give you paradise or hell. I mean, there are many degrees in paradise and hell, but it's not our subject. And we have to believe in it. Why? Because I said so. Why? How do you know? The Torah claims something else. Bible claims something else. How can I know that it is really my Creator's word? So that, I have to believe in resurrection, hereafter. Why? You have to give me a reason. Because you gave me, my Creator, that's very human. You gave me the power to question, the power to doubt, and it is human to doubt. Is it really? Really? Huh? How can I make sure really that I'm going to be resurrected? I'm sorry. So it depends on Quran, the definition of the Quran. How we should really take the message and really make me feel confident about the content of the message, really comfortable. How can I make sure that the Quran, after being confident about the Quran's message, how can I do that? It's very easy. It seems to be very difficult. No, it is very easy. For example, there are many ways of believing in God. Looking at the universe, it's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah? Look at myself, so I am a wonderful being. Although some people claim that you are the result of certain natural developments, evolution, evolved throughout billions of years of ages. But, okay, I happen to be accidentally like this. How about dogs? How about, for example, pomegranate tree? It is perfect. Fly, it is perfect. Ants, it is perfect. Right? What is not perfect? Nothing. Do you think the whole universe with millions and billions of different creatures are perfectly working as a result of accident. Excuse me, sir, I am a human being. I cannot buy into it. Really, I mean, even one is impossible. Human being? How about these feelings? How the feelings, human feelings, rationality, intellectual qualities, consciousness come about from material activities. Possible? I understand maybe, but it is impossible, but I has the quality or the elements of matter, right? In this way, in another way, but it is alive. Life is not matter, first. The second, excuse me, I have a power of sight. A dead man cannot see. And I want to see. Even somebody is born blind. Still this person says, I want to see. But you didn't have any experience of sight. What do you know that, how do you know that you are missing something? No. My inner feelings, it is already there. It's not matter. So we have to make the distinction between body and life and human spirit. What makes me a human being? Intelligence, consciousness, all the feelings, hopes, fears, anxieties. We have to make a sense of their existence. We cannot explain it away by attributing them to matter. So we have to have a general understanding that the universe has a creator or must have a creator. That is what my notion or rationality. So, for example, somebody put although I saw it, but let's assume that I didn't know there is a bottle of water here. Somebody kind to present it to me, mashallah. Thank you. So, even I didn't see you. So there is a water, and this is meaningful, isn't it? You know, packed. There is water. I'm in need of water. Oh, somebody knew me. Somebody knew me. Then found out that I'm still having some problems with my throat. So this old man needs some water. So let me be kind enough to bring it. Somebody brought it. Did you see? No. Here is the computer. When you look at it, oh, it is so nice. How do you say that? Oh, you know, let me go into the computer and find out who made it. So we have to be very careful about the first principle we have to understand. We cannot find the maker within what he made. Principle. For example, even this simple thing, I don't know. Here it is. It's not, although it cannot be explained in accident, design, etc. Design cannot be accidental. Anyways, the simple thing definitely says I have a maker. Did I see it? No. Are you sure? Yes. Really? 100% positive. It is a maker. This maker, that is why we don't know. We don't see any part of the universe which has a power to create. Right? So, come back to the main subject. It doesn't have any, the universe has no part that it can be the creator of itself and also anything else. Everything is subject to the order of the universe. Right? It means everything is the slave of the order of the universe. We should never forget that. Can you do anything? Can you do anything without obeying the order of the universe? Can you make this computer without obeying the order of the universe? Yep. whether you believe or not, you are, and everybody has to obey the will of the creator of the universe, which appears in front of us, a certain order that doesn't change. It is within the control of the one who established the order. Can we change the order of the universe? No. Can we add any new order into the existing order of the universe? What are we doing? But I have a free will. Okay. I have a free will. What am I doing? I'm going to drink water. Can I drink water as I will? Or can I drink water by following the order of the creation? What is that? I have to take it. I have to swallow it. By the way, that's what I need. Need it. So, swallow it, and I am obeying the order of the universe. If we are very careful, while we are obeying the order of the universe, if we have some sort of understanding or from the teachings of the Qur'an, we will understand that while we are obeying the order of the universe, we are in fact obeying the will of the creator of the order. Look at the secret here. Why is it so significant, although it is not directly related to our discussion that we are dealing with today? Just practically speaking, I see all of us coming from Muslim background. Am I wrong? Yeah, somehow we have the concept of religion, we have the concept of worship, we have the concept of believing God in hereafter, etc. Somehow. Depends on how deep it is, depending on everybody. We don't know. So it is not our duty to think this kind of matters in terms of personalities. You know, what is your iman level? Or I don't have an iman gauge, so 1 meter. So no one has it. Only the Creator knows my heart, the one who created my feelings. Yeah. So, what do we understand from worship? Generally speaking, worship, ibadah, prayer, fasting, giving to charity, it's important, all of them, going on pilgrimage, not telling a lie, not stealing, not gambling, no, and also telling the truth, standing up for justice, etc. We know that. These are ubudiyah, worship, yeah. But they are all limited, do you know? Takes only some parts of our life. But if we are careful and clever, we can turn all our life into worship. How? In any case, at any time, are we not obeying the will of the Creator? When you have the conscious awareness that living in this world gives me the opportunity to obey God. For example, here I am. I hold this. If I am conscious that I am obeying the will of the Creator in order to drink water, that turns into God consciousness, which is taqwa. I am aware my Creator gave me the sense of the sense of need for liquid, and He provided the liquid. He provided it and brought it in front of me and gave me the power to my hand to take it. I am all utilizing it as a grace of my Creator. This consciousness is the gist, the core of worship. If we have this consciousness, our prayer, our fasting becomes much more meaningful. more than just performing the formalities, norms, which are really, I always say that whatever the situation we are in, while we are praying, when I pray, my mind goes everywhere. That is how I experience in my life. So I'm struggling, but still slips away. Concentration more than a few seconds is very difficult for a human being. So this is difficult. It's our reality. But still, if you want to drink water, do you have to have a cup? How can you do it? You have to have some sort of vessel to carry it, to bring it to you. What we are doing, even if we are not aware of what we are doing while we are praying, although saying that is Allah's order, I am obeying. But what am I doing exactly, feeling in the presence of God? Occasionally. But still we have to keep the cup. Even it is empty. Even keep the cup. If you didn't have a cup, you cannot have water. So keep the water and no, it is empty, it is empty, it is empty. What do you want? Fill it, fill it, fill it. The desire, the prayer always will be alive. If I say, okay, it is empty, by the way, why should I carry the cup and throw it away? What does it mean? I won't feel that I am not having liquid. I don't have it because there is no reminder. At least this is the reminder that it is empty, I have to fill it. So, inshallah, we will look for opportunities to fill it. That's why you are here. Yeah, that's why, to fill it. So, never forget the importance of the cup, although cup is for water and I'm not going to drink the cup. No, but without the cup, I cannot drink water. A simple example. Now let's come. While we are reading the Qur'an, how do we confirm that this is the speech from the Creator? From my God. How do I confirm it? This question for you, my Sheikh.
Yeah.
How do I confirm? Sorry, I'm sorry. No. I wanted to say salam alaikum. That's it.
Keep us in your thoughts.
Inshallah. All right. First, here we go. Let me take this one down, and I have to see what's going on here. Now, the first definition is this. It's a very simple, fundamental definition. Otherwise, if we don't have this understanding, we will have a general acceptance that I am a Muslim, I believe God speaks, and the Qur'an is Allah's revelation to my prophet, who is it, Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Have you seen him receiving the message from the angel? No. And because people leave it with him, even his wives. None of his wives says, living together. Yeah? I've seen Gabriel came and spoke to him. Oh, it's what wonderful, that, as the Quran describes, the Jibreel is wonderful. Encompasses all the sky. I don't know. Human beings have this quality to question. We cannot deny ourselves. So don't pretend. No, I'm a very strong believer. I have no doubt. Quran is full of miracles. What are they? It explains something that scientists couldn't find until now. All right. How about the people who received it? They didn't have any scientific, and they didn't have any such problem. And they didn't have such things. They believed in it. Why? Because of its concept, the insight, what it teaches makes sense, right? So another thing is, in this halaqah, we have to really not only emotional, that is somehow human, but intellectually engaged. Reasoning will follow always in our halaqahs, reasoning. So if my reason is convinced, my feelings afterwards confirms it. If my reason is not convinced, my feeling is doesn't mean anything, just speculative, looks like it's speculative. We have to admit our human reality. We cannot really pretend. Yes, I am sure, absolutely sure. How do you know absolutely sure that after we die, we will be resurrected? How do you know? I believe. There must be. Our religion teaches this. Of course, this is enough for some people who cannot come here, yeah, this kind of decision. Oh, that is good for them. But for you, you have been educated, learned, indoctrinated from the age of 5 through secular education. Why do you deny our reality? Secular education means reason must be satisfied and I must see palpable, experiential evidence. How can I know about the existence of the hereafter? Experiential existence. Can I kill myself and see and then I cannot come back? No good. No solution. We have to be brave enough to encounter our reality. Brave enough to do that. But if somebody cannot reason and question his or her, of course, secular education, all the things are in secular education, what? Have you ever seen any word, not section, not a sentence, a word which talks about the creator of anything? The professor may say, I am the creator of this formula. Right? If you are studying biology, physics, or with all the subjects, zoology, cosmology, can you really see any word which refers to the creator? What are we learning there? But it works. It works within the order of the universe because these studies are taken from the order of the universe. Physicists cannot do anything without following the order of the universe, without discovering what is within the order of the universe. The engineer of this laptop cannot make it without following the order of the universe. It works because order of the universe works. It doesn't mean that accidentally works. It is an interpretation. It doesn't mean that it is naturally working in this way. What is nature? What is nature? The universe. I am asking, who is the creator of the universe? Don't contradict yourself. I am saying, who is the creator of the universe? You are saying nature. What is nature? The universe. Comic, isn't it? Comic. It seems to be, but we have been indoctrinated thinking in this way. How old you are, I don't know, approximately 20 at least, excluding me, of course. I double and triple 20. So almost. So, yeah, I mean, at least 20. From the age of 5 to 15 years, we have been indoctrinated thinking in causal chain. Because of this, it happened. Because of that, it happened. Yeah? Not because of the will of the Creator. Why? There is no Creator within the universe. Correct. There is no Creator within the universe, but it doesn't mean that there is no engineer within the computer. It doesn't mean that human reason cannot confirm this laptop must have a creator, maker, not a creator. They cannot create again, you know. Choosing from the order of the universe, new combinations, taken from the order of the universe. Now, Quran itself says, I am the speech of the Creator and the Lord of the universe. It needs to be read accordingly. Wow. Here is a verse which is the ayah, Allahu Rabbul Alamin, Rabbul Alamin, Rabbul Alamin. Everywhere in the Quran, the Quran says, I am the word of Allah. Allah says, hey, I am the Rabbul Alamin. You know, the Lord of all creation. It means owner, the creator, the sustainer, the maintainer of the whole universe. Right? Isn't that great? Why? Why is it so important? But we have been saying, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Allahi, in this context, Alhamdulillahi. Otherwise, normally, Allahu Rabbul Alamin. Allahu Rabbul Alamin. How many times? Hundreds of times a day. Can you imagine? Do we notice that when I say Allah, I should mean the owner, the sustainer, originator of the universe. It means the concept of Allah, God, cannot ever be separated from the universe for human beings. To confirm it. First of all, if I say God is the Lord of all the worlds, it means Rabbul Alameen, Allahu Rabbul Alameen. So, what I should remember, the universe, Alameen means everything, Samawat and earth, you know these kind of languages, you know, heavens and the earth, everything in the creation needs a creator. Needs a creator. Right? Everything in the universe. So, since everything needs a creator, I have to say, okay, the creator, I can confirm it that there must be a creator. I don't have to see it in order to believe that this computer has an engineer. I don't have to see him. I'm sure such a being exists. It must be conscious, etc., etc. Because the computer says, the one who made me must be knowledgeable, must know how the universe works, and must be wise enough to make it in such a way that human beings are going to use it, and the human beings need this one. It shouldn't be heavy, it should be clumsy. Human beings love the beauty. So it must look beautiful, charming. So I will love it when you see it. It is beautiful. I enjoy it. And also, I must use it for the purpose that I want to use it. Is it really prepared accordingly? Yes. The one who made the computer must know what I need. Accordingly designed. Although I don't see the engineer, I already know him. How? By his qualities, manifested in the existence of the computer, of the laptop. So exactly the same thing. Even if, this is just an imagination, God comes, says, hi, I am your creator. Nice to meet you. Introduces himself. It is beyond imagination, because the creator cannot be really in the form of anything created, and everything in the universe is created. But this is imagination. Suppose that it is this way. I am the creator. Would you believe in him? This voice, would you believe in it? Huh? I am the, for example, let's say, I am an architect. Well, that's a simple example. Practical architect, you have to wait and see his drawings, etc., blueprint, plans. So, I am the plumber. I am the best plumber. Would you believe in him? Because he says so. And the Qur'an says, I am the speech of the Creator. Would you believe in him? I don't know. Even God comes and tells you, introduces that I am God and I am your Creator. Oh, I don't know. Yeah? Plumber came to my house and said, you have a problem here. I am the best plumber. I say, okay, let me see if you are really. What I need is evidence to be convinced he must solve this plumbing problem in such a swift, quickly, very talented way. I say, okay, how much do you want? $300. They don't come to your house less than this. You deserve it. Take it. Otherwise, by word, we cannot believe. Now, that is why this principle, the first principle, I am the speech of the Creator and the Lord of the universe, Rabbul Alameen, both. Because how can I make sure that the one who speaks in the Qur'an is my Creator, the universe, the Creator of the universe? How can I make sure it? Do I have to listen to what he says? Or do I have to look and investigate what he did? Did we believe that the plumber is the best plumber? Really? Very talented? Very qualified? No. We didn't believe in the word. But after he performed his quality of plumbing, we said, this man is it is the man. Yeah? It is the man, plumber. Definitely, if I will advise you to other people as well. Got it? His work also is infinite. His work also is so deep. Go and ask the physicists, especially these particle physicists. What do they say? We can never ever get the end of going into the particles. Can you imagine? Look at this, not the word. No. Not like this is stuff. It's stuff of matter. No. Not the atom. No. Particle of an atom. Impossible to get to the end. Either in microcosm or in macrocosm. What does it mean? Can we get to the end of the universe? Impossible. That is macro word. Can you get into the Particle, impossible. Microword, endless. We say, yeah, the one who created the universe must have infinite knowledge. And his speech must include infinite knowledge. So, what is important here? We have to read the Qur'an accordingly. Universe, evidence, speech, explaining how we should interpret it. Is it simple? Nothing complicated. So, does it make sense?
Yep.
Really? So we have to relieve ourselves from hidden, oppressed doubt that, yeah, I am a Muslim. I believe in the Quran. Yes, you do believe. You are a believer. That is correct. But I should never ever forget that if something happens I don't like, I forget about all my belief and say, what is this happening? So horrible, isn't it? The weather is terrible today. What are we talking about? So, the one who creates the universe must make sense. This is what we should. Yeah. Now, do we have time or shall we stop it?
No, it's 7:05. I don't know.
So it is okay? Are you not bored? Okay. قال لقد علمت ما أنزل هؤلاء إلا رب السماوات والأرض بصائر وإني لأظنك يا فرعون مثبورا. What does it mean? He said, you know very well that only the Lord of the heavens and the earth could have sent these signs as clear proof. What does it mean? I think that you, Pharaoh, are doomed. You are going to be really, really very sorry at the end. What does it mean? Only the Lord of the heavens and earth could have sent these signs. Signs in the Quran. How many meanings the Quran has? Signs. Every sentence is a sign. Yep. Every creature is a sign. Every sentence points to the endless power of the Creator. So we have to read the Quran accordingly. Every creature, every being, a cell is a sign, again, points to the quality of its Creator that says, only the Creator of the universe can be my Creator. Right? Because if you cannot know my body, you cannot create my cell, my tissue of my heart, because it works in harmony with everything. Yep. So the one who creates the cell or tissue of my heart is the one who created my body. The one who created my body, it is in communication with the rest of the universe, air, water, food, etc. Must be the one who created this world. It's not go and go and go. So solar system must be created by the one who created the whole universe, because they are working in harmony with each other. You cannot really take out one object of the within the universe out of the context of the whole universe. You cannot. So Lord of the heavens of the earth can create this miraculous message in the Quran. So how are we going to read it? read the Quran now under seeing this first message, as the verse says as well, Lord of the universe is speaking. It must have infinite knowledge. But how much do I know of the universe? How much?
Fraction.
Of the universe? This much. A fraction. Fraction. Is it something true that it is about knowledge about the universe? Correct. It is something to do with the universe, and this is my knowledge of the universe. So when we read the Quran, even from the translation, what we will find, I know if this much from the speech of the Creator, who must have absolute infinite knowledge. Right? This is the first principle, fundamental principle of understanding what the Quran is. So that we will build up in order to have a solid understanding, definitely satisfactory understanding that the Quran must have an infinite, it must come from it must be the speech of the one who has infinite knowledge. Accordingly read it. If somebody says, I understand from this word this, I don't know, my specialty this, and I understood that. Okay, inshallah we will stop here. Yeah, and next week we will continue and try to finish it, and then we will start the story of Adam's life experience, and how am I going to apply it to my life, bearing in mind the principles how the Quran should be read. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim, wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin bi hurmati sirri surati al-Fatiha.